Welcome, acolytes. Today I'm doing a quick and dirty one
Hi,
from Count Dankula, the man himself. Actually, wanted to do more often things of him, especially the documentary things with the mythological creatures and historical figures that actually were some kind of badasses or not from the Count himself, because at the end of the day he's a freaking funny guy and he actually looks up the information and does what he has to do. But hey, let's just start what this is about. Absolute Ghost sentenced to 100 years. I hope this is something good. Judge a couple conversation of sexual abuse their adopted boys in House of Horrors, sentenced to 100 years in prison. Good.
are you having a great day? I'm about to change that. George, this is one of the worst stories I've ever done, but I've covered it on the channel, and I've covered it on the channel a little bit, and it's arrived at its conclusion, so I do have to report on the conclusion, I'm afraid. Georgia couple convicted of sexually abusing their adopted boys in House of Horrors, sentenced to 100 years in prison. The investigation dates back to 2022, when police received a tip that...
Wait, they get a longer sentence than murderers? I mean, they deserve it, but how the fuck is this logically constant?
suspected homemade
Consistent.
homemade child sexual abuse material. And there's the two guys there, the gay couple that adopted children through adopted boys, specifically boys, through an agency. And
Yeah.
I'm going to do what I usually do. If they start going into too much detail, I'm just skipping it. A Georgia
good.
couple
Thank
will
you.
spend the rest of their lives in prison after sexually abusing two young boys that they adopted. William and Zachary Zulock of Walton County were sentenced to 100 years in prison without parole on Thursday after they both pled guilty to several charges related to sexually assaulting their adopted children. Those involved with the investigation and prosecution of this case will never forget what they had to see and hear in this case. Neither will I. A lot of these articles got a little bit too graphic, and it wasn't fun. District Attorney Randy McGinley said in a statement, "These two defendants truly created a house of horrors and put their extremely dark desires above everything and everyone else. However, the depth of the defendants' depravity, which is as deep as it gets, is not greater than the resolve of those that fought for justice and the strength of the victims in this case," he added. The resolve I have seen from these two young victims over the last 2 years is truly inspiring. Good on them. Good on those two wee boys because basically they had to stand up in court and talk about all the stuff that they had been through.
Yeah. That's traumatizing.
And they did it. And they did. By the way, well done. Genuinely well done. That must have been... They're kids, so that must have been fucking hard, but...
Yeah, and I mean, he's correct about that. They had some literal balls. It's just... It is, even as a victim, if you have to actually endure such a thing, and just talking about it is already a giant step you have to take. It's especially because you know how other people will react to it. You know it. Because most people will... If you're unlucky, people will sensationalize it, like make a big deal out of it, and you will get more shit for it. It's just basically sick. It's really sick how everyday people will react to it. Don't get me wrong, most people will actually support you, but a lot will virtue signal and just do everything so they look like good people and just do the correct thing and just bully you. It's that simple. Yeah, sounds sick, and it is.
They went up there and they did it. Well done. The investigation began in July 2022 when police received a tip from the National Centre for Missing and Exploited Children about suspected homemade child sexual abuse material, McGinley said in his statement. This led investigators to Hunter Lawless, a man who admitted to viewing this material and claiming he received it from Zachary, according to McGinley. Lawless was sentenced to 20 years, with the first 12 to be served in prison after pleading guilty to charges related to the material. He also cooperated with police as they investigated the Zulocks. After the officers then searched the Zulocks' residence, and the couple admitted to sexually abusing their two boys, according to McGinley. In their search, police seized indoor surveillance cameras and their cell phones. This led them to discover footage of the Zulocks abusing the children. The couple sent text messages and made posts about the...
Yeah, I just need to Say, for fuck's sake, honestly. It's so disgusting. This entire thing is so disgusting. I'm actually cringing right now. You don't even know how hard that collides. And of course, the fucking article here promote link Volkswagen, Toyota, BMW. This is fine. Yeah, of course, yeah. Okay.
Abuse.
Fair
Louis
enough, I
Vicaro
guess.
Sanchez was one of the people receiving messages from Zachary about the abuse, McGinley said. He later pleaded guilty to pandering for a person under 18. This resolution will help the victims continue their process of healing, McGinley said. William and Zachary Zulock will now spend 100 years in prison without parole. Now, is it each or did they get 50 years each? I have no idea. This all but guarantees that the victims will not have to worry as they grow older about their abusers being free. William pleaded guilty to 6 counts of aggravated sodomy, 3 counts of aggravated child molestation, 2 counts of incest, and 2 counts of sexual exploitation of children. Zachary pleaded guilty to 2 counts of aggravated sodomy, 3 counts of aggravated child molestation, 2 counts of sodomy, 3 counts of sexual exploitation of children, and 2 counts of pandering for a person under 18. He pleaded not guilty to 2 counts of incest, but a judge found him guilty on those charges after a brief bench trial earlier this year. And here we are at the end of the article, and I'm very happy it didn't go into detail. I would advise to anyone, people probably might want to look this up, just don't go into the detail. It's horrendous. It reminded me of, I've spoken about it a number of times now, my mum and dad used to do foster care, and we would get a bunch of children. A lot of the positions were temporary. We would sometimes have respite, which is where a child is only with us for a short amount of time, or basically the child has just been taken from their family and then they would get put with us just on a temporary basis until something more permanent was found. And obviously, because we're around the kids and we're going to be working with them, we have to read the file. And I think I read about 4 before I just stopped, because it's just I don't need to know that. I don't need to know that.
Damn. And he's correct, by the way. I personally had some experiences with some things, and I understand why he actually doesn't want to talk about it. Because it's just disgusting. Only a total freak would actually enjoy stuff like this. It's interesting, but for your own sanity, don't. Just fucking don't.
Hey, do you like the PlayStation? Yeah, let's play games. Play games with them all day. And I mean, that's all they want. That's all they need. I don't need to know. I don't need to know. Right? I swear to God, if I ever rise to power. Because I read the files. I remember the names in the files as well. That's one thing I remember. And also, I've spoken about this as well, but basically, a girl that we were looking after, no names, I'm not going to say any names.
Yeah,
lovely girl, really nice and sweet girl, very cheeky.
Yeah, and by the way, the public would freaking rip her apart. No, don't.
Very cheeky, which is why I liked her. Basically, she ended up confessing to my mum and dad about something that happened to her when she was younger. It ended up going to trial, and just in December there, the guy gets sentenced to 13 years. And I posted his name and his picture publicly on Twitter. And I told everyone what part of the prison he was being kept in, to inform people. But yeah.
Yeah, to inform people. Don't give me that shit. You wanted him to suffer. Because 13 years in jail isn't enough for a sucker like that. It's not enough. No. I just think that the legal system has to be overhauled. Especially because we know the worth of life right now. And still somehow murderers, rapists, people who just harm other people, be it financially and destroy their lives, they just get away with it for a few years, and that's dead. That's not just. Sorry. I mean, 13 years for this. No. If you do stuff like that, you destroy a life or influence it in a way where the person will be damaged for the entire life. And the cause of this damage should also be punished for their entire life. If you murder someone, you're done. If you abuse someone financially so hard that they get destroyed, you're done. Of course, you could argue to what degree do we actually apply this, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, there are degrees to everything. We need to speak about it a bit in a clearer and way more informed and longer way. It just is what it is. But at the end of the day, but the system that is right here, right now, just doesn't work as it should, in my opinion, at least. It's way too nice to absolute fucked up individuals that actually deserve way harsher punishments. That's
This is just a disgusting case, and I don't want to talk anymore. Let's end the video here.
Yep. As it is, acolytes, I mean, good start in the day, I guess. I'm gonna go. Have to go work. So, as it is, have a nice day. Or night.